Hey everybody, Shama32 here. Welcome to the channel. We're here today for the 7th episode of season 3 of Classic Doctor Who. This one is entitled Small Profit Quick Return, and the story is The Mythmakers. That is confusing, but I like the title. Everything's confusing. It's not that this episode confusing. Everything's confusing, because if you saw last week's episode, you know that I've already listened to the entirety of this story and the first episode of the next story. I've reacted to the second episode of the next story, and I've listened to the third and fourth episode of the next story. So, yay? What am I thinking? Holy moly. But, thanks to a lovely commenter, I have been able to, find the bits that silly me didn't even think of looking for when I was looking for reconstructions. Because we are doing a reconstruction, because sadly this whole entire story is missing except for the audio. But actually, I say that, there was a few seconds actual footage last time, which was so freaking cool because I never expected it. But yeah, so I've done, I've gone back. I had listened to all of this one, the first episode of the next one, second episode of Dalek's Master Plan, which won't come out for multiple weeks now. But this episode is coming out on Patreon, or has come out on Patreon, the same day as the first episode of this story. So it won't be as much, but still, it's about a month, and I've already recorded it, which would be nice, because that means 1 week I'm going to not have an episode to record. So I can record extra if I want, or just give myself a break. It'll be interesting, and plus it means I don't have to have homework of listening to the missing stories. It's good. I do own the Ark, which isn't a missing story. I've got the DVD right there. You can just see it's on the bottom there above my book for Turn Washington Spies. That one's not missing, but I got the DVD anyway. But I've got this one, said last time, which now I've got a few months to prepare for. Because I do know I haven't. Luckily, it doesn't spoil it on the back. But I know about the first appearance of the Cyberman, so I've got several months to prepare for that one now. Like, I thought that was going to be 2 months max, or not 2 months, 3 months, because of like having to listen to so much of season 3. No, I've got so much longer to get through now. But I'm glad that I'm redoing these ones, because like with last episode, like when I'd listened to the story, I defaulted to having some reason to having them fighting inside in like a forest or wooded area, at least. Even I don't know, because I that's what my head just defaulted to. I don't know why. I don't know if it was described. I'm assuming not, because it'd be so different to the actual episode. Obviously the images used were from something else and then superimposed, because that's what they were meant to be. And plus, that's what's always represented in other media as well for Troy. But my head just defaulted to that. But I really like how they did the reconstruction for the last episode. They used bits from other episodes, or like not other episodes. Actually, they did for a shot for Stephen with the black cloak. Because like in the footage he had a pale cloak on. But obviously no other still image survived. But they like superimposed like the actors' faces for the guys fighting, which was weird, but some of it was better than others. And then we've had quite a bit of photos. They obviously did some promotional photos for it, and then we had some Stephen and Vicki actual surviving footage that I believe it looks like somebody filmed off their TV, because you could like see the edges of the thing because they were rounded. But the fact that we got surviving anything is so cool. It's freaking frustrating that that's all we've got, because lovely BBC practice back then was to get rid of it. Not just Doctor Who, so many other things as well have just been lost to time, and it's horrible, absolutely horrible. And I know there are people out there, there's so many more surviving episodes we don't know about. But people are afraid to come forward because they don't want to get reprimanded. And I can understand that. I would rather not have the episodes and those people be okay. Like, I only want them if they can be guaranteed that they won't get any, like, repercussions of legally recording and that, you know? But anyway, we've got all the audio for this, and luckily Luce can have done reconstructions. And now the same with the last episode, I'm not going to be putting a link in the description or comment to the original video because it's using the BBC audio. I don't want them to get repercussions. They're on Daily Motion. You can just Google the name of the classic Doctor Who or Doctor Who and the name of the episode. It comes up. Silly me didn't originally think of doing that when I was looking for reconstructions, but that's how you can find the episode, okay? But yeah, I'm not going to link it because I don't want them to get in trouble, which BBC's going to know about them by now. Maybe they're just allowing it. I don't know. I don't know. But here we are, and we're going to get going. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, give the notification bell a tick. You'll know when the next episode goes live. Let's get going with the reaction in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Now, with how I'm doing this, because I couldn't like react straight off of Daily Motion, there are no subtitles, but luckily they've done some descriptive text across the bottom, at least with last one, which was so incredibly helpful. Because I really liked the connecting dialogue in the audiobook version, so it was really helpful having the description, the text across the bottom. And this is recorded so loudly in my ears.
Thunder at the temple tomorrow, did you say?
Yes, and the TARDIS is missing.
Our weather is so unpredictable. If there is no thunder,
The TARDIS is missing, that's good. Like, the fact that he said the plane, I missed that the first time when I was listening to it because I was distracted. Nice. I love the pun, small profit, quick return, the way profit be spelled with a PH. That's loud, like I've turned my volume on my thing right down. Okay,
well, Father,
okay, that plaque was a lot smaller than I thought.
Well, it should be about here somewhere. Rather hard to understand.
You'd think you'd be able to easily see it on this landscape.
Something has been here. Look, and someone
yeah.
too. Well, see, some several tracks lead up to Troy. Lord Agamemnon, admit your fault. These men are spies.
Or somebody nicked his temple.
This sacrifice can only be performed within the temple. Which temple is in Troy. Therefore, would we release you just so?
Yeah. I can get why this guy's suspicious.
This young man is a friend of mine.
This has been honest.
I care not who you are. Seize him.
Guards grab the doctor and
that you have trifled with my
Stephen and start to tie them up.
Made me look a fool in front of all my captains. Now finish the business and be brief, and do not bring their bodies back. Let them rot here.
I don't know how they get away. I can't remember, but obviously they're gonna get away, or at least the doctor does.
I'm sure Vicki couldn't have dematerialized.
She
couldn't. I told you last night.
We're gonna get actual. Damn it! I thought we were getting actual footage then, but we got a photo.
This may take some time. I will be patient.
You actually gonna tell him? Oh, I forgot about this. And there it is. Okay, that's an actual shot. Okay, I thought it was in the middle of a square, not on the side like that. Is that the actual set behind him, or is that a reconstruction?
Observation is none of us to rest. Who's there? Paris, father, return.
Oh, that's Paris. Okay.
I sought Achilles, father, even to the Grecian lines, but he...
Did you? Really?
Well, go back and wait until he gets his courage up. Upon my soul, what sort of brother are you? Furthermore, what sort of son? What is that you have got there?
I love the fact okay, some of this isn't real. It seems like it's...
I wager they were glad to see the
I can't tell what part was...
What is it?
I think they're in superimposed on top, aren't they?
Sort of a shrine, or so it seems.
It's pretty much accurate on what the doctor said, anyway. We get footage. Oh my god, we actually have got footage again. Whoa. This is so cool. Like, I can't believe we got little bits of footage.
Well, I had rather thought of putting it in the temple. Ha!
Oh, and there's a sister suite.
I should think not, indeed, bringing back blessed shrines. Go back and bring Achilles' body if you want to do something useful.
Yeah, because he wants to avenge his brother.
Really, if you knew the weight of this thing. Cassandra doesn't want it. Can't we just
leave it where it is for the moment.
In the middle of the square.
Yes, I mean, it could be a sort of a monument.
Because he said middle of the square, I thought it was in the middle of the square, not off to the side.
Captured since the war started. Probably turn out to be
Good
very
point.
useful.
What sort of use would you suggest?
What sort of use?
I have no idea.
Don't quite know, actually.
I like there are some funny moments in this one.
What do you mean?
Why do you imagine that they allowed you to capture it?
Allowed me?
Like, I can get her skepticism. I can get it. They should listen to her.
What do you think out there?
In some parts.
Unguarded, I suppose.
Yes, of course. I mean, yes, it was.
He does sound so foolish when she takes him apart.
I dreamed that out on the plain the Greeks had left a gift. And although what it was remained unclear, we brought it into Troy. Then at night, from out its belly, soldiers came and fell upon us as we slept.
Oh, I thought she actually... Okay, see, this is another bit I got distracted on. I thought she actually saw the horse, but she saw a gift. So that's why she hated the TARDIS. That makes more sense. But, again, they should have listened to her because that would explain why they didn't, like, listen to her when they saw the horse. That's why they didn't listen to her with the horse, because they already thought she was talking about this. That makes more sense.
Here's a door, but
It's locked.
open.
Just as I said, it's locked from the inside.
Oh, it is.
They should have listened to her. But then again, maybe they did with the TARDIS. Priam takes Paris' sword and tries to prise open the TARDIS doors. Okay? I'm so glad for that connecting
Well,
text.
there you are, Father. Perhaps you'll believe me next time, I suppose. Oh, Cassandra, perhaps you would like to care to have a try.
Bring branches, fire, and sacrificial oil. We'll make of it an offering to the gods of Troy.
Honestly?
And
Best way to do it.
Someone within. So much the greater gift.
Inside the wardrobe room of the TARDIS, Vicki is frantically looking for suitable clothing. She sees many costumes, including a crinoline dress, spacesuit, and a 1920s flapper dress. Ooh. That would have been cool to see her in that. Now starting to panic, she hurriedly continues her search.
So really, you see, we arrive in your time entirely by accident.
This is so
Just another
cool.
miscalculation by the doctor.
Oh!
Well, I would hardly call it
A brief billet of William Hartnell. And they were actually honest about what they were. Ish.
Very glad you're pleased with yourself. I suppose I should be grateful for standing here to trust like a chicken ready to have my throat cut.
I had something more lingering in mind. Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, I dare say, I suppose some
He does seem like the guy that would be twisted about his torture and killing.
has had the credulity strained as I have strained today by your effrontery, Doctor.
Yeah.
Your story is probably true.
I like that because it's like so ridiculous and nobody's dared to do that kind of thing. It's probably true. I like that. I forgot he actually ended up semi-believing it.
That's very nice of you.
No, it isn't. Or at least put upon certain conditions.
Uh-huh.
And what are those conditions, may I ask? That you use your supernatural knowledge to devise a scheme whereby we capture Troy. I will give you
There we
2 days.
go.
2 days to think of something.
It's very clever in that.
2 days. That isn't very long, is it? It should be ample if you are as clever
I can't believe we got footage, especially of the Doctor.
Then I shall have been foolish, and I would hate to seem foolish.
Yeah, basically you fail or he'll kill you. Or if you succeed in he'll kill you. There we go.
Very angry.
You don't want to piss him off. I'm so glad I'm rewatching it again, because again, I'm missing stuff. In the main square of Troy, branches are being piled around the TARDIS. A priestess pours sacrificial oil all over the branches. Oh God, what's the other one's name? What's the other priestess's name? Sugar, I've forgotten it.
Before we actually light the fire, shouldn't we see if such a gift would be acceptable to the gods? I mean, if it does contain treachery, might it not
Again.
be the most awful insult?
No, point, I suppose.
Very true. If it really was a gift from the gods, you don't want to burn it.
Show us your will, I pray you, for we are merely mortal and need your guidance.
Are we going to see Vicki coming out? Really? Oh, wow. Ah, there's Cyclops. Okay.
This is no soldier either.
Who are you?
I'm nobody of any importance. I'm just someone
I
from...
can't believe we actually got that bit of her coming out.
Are you some puny pagan goddess of the Greeks?
Of course not. I'm as human as you are.
Then how comes it that you claim to know the...
Sandra, you're always going on and on about it yourself.
I'm a priestess skilled in organs.
Yes, I know all those dreary flights of birds and engines.
And doesn't it stand to reason that somebody who's not a priestess, who hasn't had the opportunity to be a priestess, could have those gifts too?
I never took any exams or anything.
And how dare you practice prophecy?
I haven't done yet, have I?
Very true, love. I get her skepticism.
Nonsense to spread dissension.
I'm nothing of the sort.
Of course you're not. I can tell.
And Paris, of course, likes a pretty girl.
Are you a Greek?
No, I am.
Obviously a promo image. That's
You
awesome.
see, I don't have to prophesy because as far as I'm concerned, the future...
It's already happened.
Of course you don't. She's trying to confuse you.
No, she's being honest. But again, I get her skepticism completely.
You're not to touch her.
I wish you'd both keep quiet just for a moment. Now, don't be frightened.
He's trying to
now.
talk to her. And I like that. He doesn't want her to be afraid in that. He's treating her nicely.
Neither of you has the least idea how to handle children. All you need is a little kindness and understanding. Now,
I like
first of all,
that.
What is your name?
Vicky.
Vicky? That's a very outlandish name.
Cressida.
See, how about Cressida? Would you think
I
that
like
would be
it.
all right?
Very pretty name.
Very well, then.
This is so cool that I'm so glad we got images and little clips. I can't believe we got William Hartnell clip from it. That made me so happy.
That would be very nice.
That's a very good idea. I've not eaten
You
since
get back to the war. If you've not killed Achilles by nightfall, I shall be seriously displeased. Heck, don't argue, Paris. Get back to
dear.
the war.
Like I think they said before that Paris is a bit doesn't like fighting, and they call him cowardly because he said he ran away, didn't they?
Thank you very much for trying to help me.
Oh,
Aww.
not at all. It was a great pleasure.
She will bring nothing but doom, death, and disaster.
Don't pay any attention to Cassandra. She takes the gloomiest view. I suspect it's a kind of insurance.
They don't want to think about the fact they might lose. He's too confident in that regard because they've withstood it for so long. They should have listened to her. They really should have.
Strike with your lightnings, this usurper, or show me a sign that she is false, and then I'll strike her down myself.
Oh, and their Cyclops has been watching everything. He quietly moves off. Okay. But they should have listened to Cassandra. They
Why
should
not the
have.
wooden horse? No, my dear boy, I couldn't possibly suggest that. The whole story is obviously absurd. Probably invented by Homer as some good dramatic device.
I like that. They're not... He doesn't believe it could work. Must be false.
If they have taken the time machine into Troy, then she'll still be inside it.
I hope
Yeah.
it is for her sake, because if she left it, she's past worrying about that.
Well, we're not quite sure of that, are we?
Perhaps not, but I don't know what you expect me to do about it when we enter Troy.
Yeah, I get it.
Every woman will ask her if she's a friend of yours.
It's a good point.
Prince Paris has called again for my Lord Achilles.
Well,
Oh, Lord Agamemnon asked that you go in his stead.
to fight that fool?
Yes.
That puny princeling cannot fight a waste of
That's
time.
right,
Come on,
yeah.
Agamemnon. If
Huh.
he wants someone to fight Achilles' battles, to go himself, now get out.
Yeah, exactly. Like Paris wants to fight Achilles. He's never going to win, is he?
The weakling cannot stomach Achilles.
That's right.
They will take you for a spy as we did.
Not if I were wearing a uniform. I'd be a prisoner of war.
Well, I don't know
He's
what
got a
they're
good
doing
point.
with their prisoners of war at the moment. It rather depends on how they're feeling at the time, I imagine. They're a very
Fair enough.
unpredictable lot, these
Oh, right,
Trojans.
well, I'm prepared to take the risk if you're prepared to let me go.
He loves. Well, he doesn't love Vicky, but he really cares for her a lot, and he really wants to help her, and I like that.
Let me see. Last week, my friend Diomede died from his wounds in this...
That's true. He does take that name on. That does sound familiar.
Ah, you really are a very brave man indeed. I should have been most...
Like he seems so rude and horrible at the beginning, but or not horrible. He's doing his job, but I like how he's letting him do this and stuff like that, and he's listening to the doctor because he actually believed the story.
I hope you're not going to disappoint me.
I sincerely hope not.
Me too.
Have you thought of tunneling?
It's been done. What we want is something revolutionary.
Yes.
Like a horse. Okay.
Achilles!
Startled by the sound of his own voice. He's startled by his own voice.
Come fight, you devil.
No wonder he's got the reputation he has. He's not helping himself, is he?
Do not dare to face me. I dare
This
to face you,
this
Paris.
is even more hilarious with it being on a plane, because before I thought it was in wooded area. I guess he didn't want to make startle like a bear or something like that. I think that's what I thought. But it's hilarious that he whispered on an open plane. And how did Stephen creep up on him on a plane? Unless it was over a dune or hill.
Well, I'm prepared to overlook that for the moment. I assure you I have no quarrel with you.
I'm Greek, you're Trojan. Isn't that quarrel enough?
Very true.
Personally, I think this whole business has been carried just a little bit too far. I mean,
He's terrible. And they're gonna fight. Okay, they start to fight, circling around each other and exchanging blows. I'm so glad for the description. Because, like, there were some parts where, like, photo reconstruction, it was so difficult. That was like a proper, like, Stephen pretends to stumble, he falls to the ground, dropping his sword. But it was so difficult to follow the photo ones. I can't remember what story it was. What one was it? It was Aztecs, wasn't it? I think. Right? Where the ending of it was a photo. It was so difficult because there was no descriptions. There was a lot of no audio. Pain in the ass. So this is fantastic with the description.
See, when I first challenged you, little did I know that you were indeed the Lion of Troy.
I like that. This guy's never heard that kind of thing. Somebody actually saying he's good at it.
Why, that they would rather face Prince Hector and Troilus together than the mighty Paris. That you are unconquerable.
Hey, don't overdo it, Stephen.
Don't say that in Troy.
Oh, I could
Nobody
tell
will
the
believe
tale or
you.
two of your valor that would make even King Priam blanch to hear.
I say, could you really?
Yes, and will. Why, I hope
I like
my Lord
that.
Achilles does not meet you. Even now, he searches the plain for you, and what indeed would happen to our cause if he were vanquished?
Yeah.
Stephen's doing it well. Like this, he's got a good read on the guy. He knows what to say. Don't overdo it.
Now, I suppose I shall have to drive you like a Grecian cur into the city, won't I? Excuse me a moment.
I love that. Oh, excuse me for a moment. I'm gonna tie you up. I'm just gonna do this kind of thing. There's like this. As they head off towards the city, Cyclops suddenly emerges from hiding and follows them. But I really like this story because it's serious stuff, there's dramatic stuff, and emotional stuff, but it's also really funny.
Oh, bless my soul, yes. We are basically horsemen. Our ancestors came from Central Asia, found this strategic position, and chose to
And there's
fortify it.
little bits from the story I've never heard of, like that kind of bit.
You seem very fond of horses.
Fond of them, I should think we are. We worship them. A Trojan
Yeah.
would do anything for a horse.
And that's why they let the horse in.
It's nothing. It's just a story I heard a long time ago.
A story about this war.
But she doesn't want to influence history.
I'm relying on you to tell us everything you remember. The
Oh,
smallest
dear.
thing may be of importance.
Prince Troilus, who was here just now, is he your youngest son?
Oh, Troilus is the name. Okay.
But why do you ask? I thought we were supposed to be talking about
Very good looking, isn't he?
Is he? Or,
She changed the subject very easily.
handsome as the devil, but a complete coward.
I thought he was rather nice.
Yes, women generally do. That's what got us all into this trouble.
Very true. Very true.
Yes, well, she said... Oh, well, never mind. If only he'd met a nice, sensible girl like you.
I like how
say
Priam's so
it's
taken with
character
her.
that counts, not good looks.
Thank you. Kindly.
But then again, he says nasty, like, not unintentionally mean.
I wish you wouldn't keep changing the subject. Yes, I tell you to
She
say that.
doing well changing this subject.
Well, of course I did.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see Troilus.
Now, don't keep changing the subject.
I'm getting names confused. We don't get to see the other one right then because the footage didn't survive. Would have been good to see him looking at her.
I've captured a Greek.
Paris, when will you learn to
To
stop
knock.
bursting in here when I'm busy?
Oh, well, I just thought you might want to question him, that's all.
Well, I may do so in due course, but
Oh, good, he's just outside.
but you've not brought him here into
Yeah, like he's not even listening. He's so pleased with himself.
Yeah, Diary. Come on, step lively now.
What on earth? What was that he called her?
Of course, Cassandra enters then.
That was the name she called herself when we found her. And she recognized him, too. Since he's a Greek, what more proof do you need?
Very true. She's got a good point. Like they do really well with this story and keep with 4 episodes. I couldn't work out how they were going to wrap it up, but in the end, God, some of this episode is so loud. Ooh. But yeah, they did it really well to wrap it up in this amount of time. Max Adrian Paris, Barry Ingham. Okay, I recognise that name. Oh, yeah, I'm really surprised, like, how, like, I think I got to the 3rd episode and I couldn't help but thinking, how the hell are they going to wrap this up in one more episode? I could not work it out, but they did it, and it worked really well. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Yeah, for some reason, I thought I was just going to get some little bits of Stephen actual surviving footage, if any, for this one. Like, I wasn't assuming anything. I was hoping we'd get some surviving footage, but I didn't want to get my hopes up because of, I was so pleased that we got the footage from the last episode. But the fact that we got some of William Hartnell in there, it was amazing. And I'm so happy. Like, obviously, it's nowhere near as good as having the full thing, but it's still cool that we've got those little tidbits in that. But some of the faces on the people in Troy are a lot better, like, superimposed. So I feel like there's more. They actually look like they were actually surviving images, like they were actually from this. Because, like, I think there was little bits with Paris that looked like they had a different expression, just to get a different expression to show what he would have been doing. But it was done really, really well. Like, obviously, we got the Priam and Vicki bit outside the TARDIS. And, like, I'm so glad I'm watching it like this, because I'm assuming they've talked to people that watched it, or they watched it themselves, because, again, I don't know their age, I don't know them. But I had assumed that the TARDIS was in the middle. But, again, I'm assuming they get it as accurate as possible. And they put the TARDIS to the steps, because the TARDIS next to the steps actually looked like it was there, like next to the steps and not superimposed, because, like, you could tell when they put a figure over in front of it, because you could see, like, a slight outline of the cut. But the TARDIS actually looked there, so I feel like that was the set. Like, some of the set looked reconstructed and that, but it was really well done, because it gave you, like, it really helped. Like, I really liked listening to the story. It was good, like, as an audio book form. It was really cool like that, because the descriptive text, like, I believe it was Peter Purvis actually doing it. I believe. Again, I said last time, I haven't heard his speaking in recent years, so I don't know what he actually sounds like now or recently. So I don't know if it was him. I believe it was, if I can remember accurately from reading the text when I got it on Audible. But I'm so grateful for the text at the bottom of the screen. I'm so freaking grateful for it, because it would be a nightmare trying to follow this without descriptive text. Like, it obviously is a lot better, but I believe, wasn't it the Aztecs where Barbara was trying to run away from someone? No, it wasn't Aztecs. Oh, which one was it? No, it wasn't Aztecs. Oh, which story was it? Because, like, she was, like, being chased and run, like, it's another historical one. And Vicki was there as well. It was in Greece. When they went back and they were, like, relaxing in Greece. And Barbara got sold as a slave. They were, like, inside somebody's house. I can't remember the name of the story off the top of my head. But there was a bit in one of those episodes where she's trying to run away and stuff like that, but it's done by images. And there's no connected, like, descriptive stuff like that. So it's like the audio was just them running, and they kept repeating images, and it was so confusing. So this is a lot better than that bit. And I am so, I've said it multiple times, I'm repeating myself, but I'm so grateful for the text crawl, like describing it at the bottom. Really helped. And, like, the fact, I really like what they did with it. Like, I'm so grateful that we've got little bits of footage. Like, I'm so happy we got William Hartnell survive. Like, it feels emotional almost, actually seeing the little clips of footage from it. Like, obviously we got other surviving episodes and stuff like that, like this one. Obviously the 4th episode's animated or reconstructed with photos, I believe, but the other 3 are surviving. So we've got, like, I've got future episodes that are surviving, like the Ark and stuff like that. But getting ones that I thought, or getting ones that, like, people know are missing, and then being surprised by, oh look, we got little bits of footage. It just makes it almost gives you goosebumps. It's so cool. And like, there's so much stuff that's like my head like just automatically did different, and then seeing like this is what actually happened. It was actually like, it's like, oh, okay, fair enough. Apologies for being here bang, my other half's doing stuff. But we got to leave in a bit anyway, so that's probably, maybe he's trying to be a bit louder to say, oi, move. But yeah, I really like that one. I really like this story. It's really funny. It's so funny, but it's also dramatic, and it's emotional in certain parts of certain episodes. But it's really, really good. It is really freaking annoying that this one hasn't survived. Like the footage. Oh, I'm so glad we got the audio. It's better than not having nothing at all. But it's because the story's so good. For me personally, fucking frustrating that we haven't got the footage. Like Marco Polo's still my favorite, but I'm angry that we haven't got this one either. You know, if we had to choose between, obviously I'd go with Marco Polo, but I really wish we had this one too. It's really annoying. But that was a really good episode. And again, they've paced it so well, because I could not work out how they were going to wrap it up, but they did it, at least in audiobook form. The audio made it sound like they wrapped it up really well, but it's going to be interesting to see how it's been reconstructed in this style. I'm really enjoying it so far. But I'd love to know what your opinion was. If you've actually watched the original when it aired or whatever, I would love to know what your thoughts on the original version of it was. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this reconstruction, on the story in general. But if you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, give the notification bell a tick. You'll know when the next episode goes live. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you again for the next one. Bye.